Good. We've started.
All right. So my name is Elisha Wong. I'm ex-team lead for Team Sentry, and we got meshed into Team Incredible, top 50 from the whole 10 teams. And this is me with Gaffa. Gaffa, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Gafar. I'm from Team Falcon. So I just got matched also with the Team Century, and I think all our groups are also the top 50. So we're all
Yeah,
good
yeah.
here, and I'm trying to understand the code, and I'm sure there are so many other backend guys that are not familiar with PHP that want to understand the algorithm. At least if we don't know how to code in PHP, we can learn the
You can at
algorithm.
least explain what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to run a line-by-line explanation of what I did to get to the script that worked for everybody. Just so you know, it might not be the best script you see anywhere, but it got the job done, and that was that.
Yeah, it
So
did get
basically,
the job done.
yeah. So we had a task from Mark where we have to, every member of the team have to have their script in whatever language they want, and then there has to be one script that processes this language and gets the output, ensure this output matches a particular pattern, and then prints pass to a particular person if it matches. And also when they append JSON to the URL, it should give the valid JSON payload of everything. So yeah, we got to work. I got into Team Sentry, so I would always love to reference Team Sentry because once a Sentry, always a Sentry. So line one is just the basic normal PHP syntax. You start with to get the browser, the compiler, whatever works to know, okay, this is a PHP file I'm working with. And then this line three here, just to test, okay, do we have the JSON appended to the string? So $_get is like it gets all appended strings. Any string you append to the main URL comes into the get. So this is what's like to say, I want to test if the JSON is there. If it's not there, okay, then JSON, the value for JSON will be false. So if it's there, the value for JSON will be true, meaning we're working with JSON. The next one is files.
Wait,
So
I have a question. You know what?
okay,
Most of us like we don't do like PHP. Whenever like for me, I don't know maybe about others. Whenever I see dollar sign, I'm like, what's going on here? Is that
okay,
because does it
$sign
mean
is
the
used to
variable or
signify
what?
a variable. Yes, you start all
Oh,
your variables with $sign.
oh,
Like I
okay.
think the person that wrote PHP had a lot of money, so he had to use dollar to define
That's
it.
something I want.
But yeah, but you use $sign to start
Okay,
all your variables. Yeah. So
thank
we
you.
have some global variables, stuff like we have some, what do they call it? I've forgotten. We have some let's just say global. We have gates. We have post picks up post variables. Yeah, and we have requests. We have stuff. Let me just type it out here. We have stuff like
Your screen part is not
post.
showing. Try to like adjust it to the right. Yeah, yeah,
Does it work now?
yeah.
Okay, so we have stuff like post, we have stuff like request, I
Oh,
think.
so once the underscore comes before it, it becomes like a method.
No, it's
Or what?
like predefined variable, yes,
Oh, okay, pretty fine.
used by the language. So
Good.
yeah. Okay, so then that one is just to get that part, the URL part thing. And
Yeah.
then the files here, scan directory is a function that scans the directories and returns all the files or everything it finds in that directory. It returns the file names, just the file names to use as a reference. So now when we run scan directory on script folder, so it will return to us all the scripts that are in that folder, which is the folder Mark said we should put our script team members. So when that file is returned, there are always two things that will join. It returns it as an array, and there are always two things that will join that array, the dot and dot dot. Let's see that in the browser. I'm going to just start a local server to test it on.
Are you using Atom?
No, I'm using PHP Storm.
Oh, PHP. Okay.
Okay, yeah, so this is basically our script running. It updates on the go. It's slow, I don't know why. My system is even heating up, but that's fine. So I'm just going to stop the script because that's not what we want. We want to output what files contain. So I am going to just button, use button for areas.
Okay.
And add return, so it doesn't pass there. So it's just going to dump just the files. Okay, here. So if you look at all these things, these are the file names, all the files that are in
Oh.
the script folder. Yes. And look at the first and second one here. See what this is? Dot and dot dot. That
Yeah.
always comes in, like that is normal to come in when you're scanning files. The dot dot here is like taking you back, is a reference for the previous folder.
Okay.
Then the dot here is to be reference for the main root folder, like the start one, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
I have to remove those two since we are not working with them. That is where we have this onset file 0 and file 1, line
Oh.
7 and 8. Yeah. So this takes out those two things. Now let me dump it here after unsetting those ones. Yeah. So, okay. They are gone now. We can see. So we are now starting from isosa ugono.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So it removed those particular two. Onset is just like remove it from the array. Just like I think pop for JavaScript, something like that.
Yeah. I think we also use
So
pop in what's it called? In Python also. Yeah.
Python, okay. So if you notice, if you look at this, it starts from 2. The reference here, the array reference here start from 2. Since
Oh.
we've unset reference 0 and reference 1, you get? So it
Yeah.
now starts here from, let me bring back the other one so you can get exactly what I'm saying. No, not this. Yeah. So look at this. We have reference 0 here, and then we have reference 1 here. Just look at these first two.
Yeah. Oh.
Reference 0 and reference 1. Now, the main thing starts from 2, which is
Yeah.
where we have isosa. You've seen this part here?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We're supposed to remove that too. Now, when we remove that too, it doesn't reset the array to start counting back at 0 again. It still
Oh.
continues counting at 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so now that is why I have this line 10 here, array values. So
Oh.
what this array values does is it resets the counting. It
Okay.
resets it to start from 0. So I'm just going to dump it here again so you can see everything will take it step by step.
Thank you.
Yeah. So like now, as you can see, it starts from 0 and isosa.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I'm just trying my best. Okay. So that particular one now is what we said that, okay, you've removed 2, but we want to reset it to still start counting at 0 index again.
Hmm.
Yeah. So now this 12 data is just an empty variable that will hold the JSON. It's useful when we are processing JSON. After that, I declare the function test file content that receives a string.
Now you have to
And when
make the
it,
screen wider so you can adjust this other part because
okay,
yeah, that seems
no,
long.
don't worry, I'll just adjust it as we go and
Okay.
break it down. Yeah. So test file content will receive the string. Now, this string that it will receive would be the string we receive from executing your file, the
Yeah.
output we were talking about. So when we execute your file, we receive the string, we pass it here, and it's going to match it to see if it matches this regular expression.
Hmm.
I'm scrolling through now, you should see. I can't break my
That's one long
screen.
expression, I must say.
Yes, we had to make sure it matches a whole lot of things because people normally had multiple spaces in between. So all
Yeah.
this says /s/s matches spaces. So we
Hmm.
didn't want to limit people the spaces they can give in between. So we just give spaces you can give it to match and stuff like that.
Oh.
So it goes through here and checks if it matches. This second value here, the values, we had to do regex grouping. So if your script matches the particular part we're using regex, we can extract whatever you pass that matches. So it now goes into these values. There, I now extract it. So if it passes, we return an array that contains your status, your HNG ID, which is value 2, that is matched here.
Oh.
It is matched here. You see, it's put in a parenthesis. Is it parenthesis or that's called
Yeah,
full? It
parentheses, you're
groups
right.
it. Yes, it groups it so we can extract it. So that's where we
So,
have value 2. So all
okay.
these ones that comes with a parenthesis can be extracted. You have to make it that way to make it easy. So if it
Okay.
passes, we give it a status. We extract the HNG ID and the language you're using, Python, JavaScript, PHP, stuff like that. But then if it does not pass, we return an array that contains status of fail and null for your HNG ID, null for your language. You just
Yeah.
have to do it that way.
Oh,
So
so
that one
that's
is
the
that.
first test. The
Yeah, that's the first thing that will be tested. Yes.
okay.
So now, after we do that, I know I had it to do here. I said this can be refactored to capture the email from the text file content. Obviously, we can still capture the email from that previous one, but
Yeah.
just leave it because
Okay.
I didn't want to double too much after I set it up. Now, all this one does is just match if that your string contains a valid email. So first of all, we match your string to be sure it works according to the pattern we gave. If it passes, we return the status. Then we match it again to check to capture your email out. So what this one just does is return an email. It doesn't return any status, just give us the email that the person passed there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So now we now come, that's like the
This is
2,
another
4.
preg match on his own.
Yes, it's another preg match. Thanks to Simeon and I think Blackbeard and some other guys, they really wrote nice regex for us. They did good.
Shout out to all team incredible then.
Yeah, Team Century. I
This
think
is
Simeon is in Team
Century. Like
Incredible now, I guess. Yeah.
okay, shout
So
out to Team Century.
yeah, I like that part. I like that part.
And Team
Okay, so
Falcon.
yeah, and Team Falcon. I mean, you have to rep your team. That's fine.
Yeah.
So after that, we now test. Okay, the JSON we assigned in line 3 here, does it have a pass value? Is it true? So if JSON is true, okay, we are going to process for JSONs. We now give it the header, content and application JSON. So we are sending you JSON. Now, this one, this line 34, my attention was brought to it by Bloodhound. He's a mentor. Then he was cruising as an intern, and he just dragged my attention to it. Like, your stuff is returning valid JSON, but it's not, the browser is not reading it properly. Add the content type, and I did. So we really had a lot of teamwork. Everybody was trying their best, but any edit to the index of PHP file has to pass through me because we didn't want to mess it up. You
Yeah.
know, too many people bring your ideas, we evaluate it, we look at it. If it goes well, I have to do the update. So we make sure the index of PHP file is edited by one person, so we won't have conflict or things going wrong.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you commented out all those parts?
Yes, I'm going to come to that part. It's something different. I'll
Okay,
come to
okay.
that part. Yeah. So after we got the files, we now had to run it for each on each file. First of all, when I get the file name, line 101, I explode it using the dots as a delimiter. Now everybody has extension, like let's say first name dash last name dot your extension.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So I'm going to, this explode is going to break this string into 2, returns an array. Now you pass it a delimiter. Say I want to break this string. Anywhere you see a dot,
Oh,
make it an element. Yeah. So it's going to break it to look like this.
yeah, nice. That's what split
Uh,
does in Python.
yeah, something like this. It's going to now look like this.
Maybe not.
Extension.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly the same. Yeah.
So it's going to return it in this manner. So when I now return it, I will make use of this second one, which is the extension, to know what kind of file you are running, be it Python, JavaScript, or
Oh,
PHP. Yes.
cool.
Yeah. So I now use switch statement. I didn't want to write a lot of if, else, if, all the stuff. And I said, okay, let's state what the value of your extension is. And this at the front here, I don't know, some people might choose to not use it, but it suppresses error.
Okay.
Let me increase my font size. That could help.
I can actually see it clearly though.
Yeah, but let's just say some other people can't.
Yeah.
I love my font very small, very, very small. Did that work? No. Yes.
Okay.
Increase some other thing.
It's
You know
increasing
what?
here, but maybe I have to restart.
Let's just leave it. Okay, that's it. It is. Yeah. So continuing. So when I switch, and also okay, if the person does not have, let's say for instance, the person now types something like let's name that slash name. We can't match anything because when the array breaks it, it won't have an extension. Since
Yeah.
we are breaking the delimiter using dot, there's no dots there. It will return just an array with one element. So calling extension with one will return an error. So I use this add to say, okay, suppress the error. I don't want to see it.
Oh.
Yes. So we now say, okay, if the extension is PHP, we assign a variable called start script to PHP. If it's JavaScript, you see where the start script will be used. You say start script will be Node. We're using Node to process JavaScript. Now, if it is Python, we're using Python 3 to process it. If it's that, we're going to use that to process it. Now, the special case was Java. A team member, almost Sally, I guess, was the one that did this Java part. He's
Nice.
the one that brought idea for the Dart. I think that and Java really. I was sure of Python and Node and PHP. So we were like, okay, let's add that and Java. He even wanted to support Go. I was like, no, let's keep it. Let's keep it.
Too much, too much.
Yeah, let's keep it there. So now he said, okay, we have to run Java first on the Java file to create a class from the Java, and then we now keep it okay and say okay. But I'm not too sure Java scaled. Some people said theirs was passing something. So we're not like, okay, our script supports Java, but in your best interest, don't use Java. It's just like saying we give you live and dead, but please use live. Yeah. So on the default, if it doesn't have anything, let's say we can access the extension, just use PHP. After that, we come, okay, how do we run the script? That's line 1 to 7. Run executable. We use exec. Now, some people use shell exec. I don't know the difference, but it's still execute your file. So
Yeah, I
what
think
this
it's the
does
same.
is an equivalent of opening the terminal and running your file from the terminal. So how do you run a PHP file in the terminal? You say PHP space the file name. So now that is where start scripts come. We had to have a place to know what language we are going to use to process which script. So when you're having Node, the value of here will be Node. So we're using Node from it. If you're having Python, we use Python 3. If you're having Java, it will be Java 3. It will be Java, yeah. Or basically PHP. So example of this would be exec PHP, your PHP file, PHP. Here has to be scripts. You get? So
Oh.
this is what it will translate to. Your script is here, file is here, your PHP. So it knows what to use to run to execute your file. So if it's Node, it's going to have Node here. All you need to do is just have Node installed on your server. Okay, so it's just like running it on the terminal. So PHP is calling your script in the terminal, something like that. I think
Makes
explaining
sense.
that works good.
It to be
Yeah. So
JS.
in some scenarios, people put spaces in their file names. I made it certain, don't use spaces in your file name, but people still do. So if you're having something like this, line 129, it's going to fail because it's going to look for this, just it will consider PHP file as a flag. It could either just leave it alone, ignore it, but it's going to look for this file and wouldn't see it. So it will throw an error. That is why you have me using this error, the suppressing of error here. Now, some people could say I could turn off error reporting, but while I was doing this, I didn't think about that. Just had to do what works on the go. So it also suppresses the error and gives the value of executing your script to the variable f.
Oh.
Yeah, so whatever is the output of your script gets assigned to f. Yes. So that's the major part. Now the next thing now is Mark said he doesn't want the email to show on the output. We only need the email on the JSON. So how do we remove the email? I had to bring in string replace. So we had a function that extracts email from your string.
Yeah. The
Which
break
is this
match.
get which is this get email from file content. So we pass that string there and we are sure it's going to return your email for you. And then we now say, okay, this part here is we did this one first. Now string replace, the way string replace works is str replace. We use the case insensitive one, string I replace. So what this does is it takes the content you're looking for. It takes what you want to replace it with. Let me use legible words. Take me. As this is what you're searching for. Replace with. And then you pass it a string that you want it to do that on. So this function is going to look into this string and look for any word that is take me, any characters that match what you pass it here, the first parameter, replace it with whatever you pass in the second parameter and return it. Return the string.
Cool.
Good. So now I had to use it twice because I tried stringing everything like an email, the email received. It wasn't working, so I just had to improvise and say, okay, first of all, remove an email. So search for an email, replace it with nothing, just remove it entirely in the string we receive when we process your request. Now, when you now receive the string value without an email, run string replace again and replace the email.
Oh my, you need to go through that again. That's so confusing.
Yes, fine, good. Let me take it again. First of all, I replace an email from your string.
Yes.
That's the first thing I do. And then I now replace your email from the string. So we now end up with a string that doesn't have an email. Let's say elisha@gmail.com.
Okay.
Which was the format Mark wanted.
Oh.
So that is what 129 is doing, and I called it new string. So you remember the function I used to match if your return value actually matches the value we want.
Yeah.
The test file content. So I now run it in. I now run it on the string we receive. I'm not running it on the new string. The new string I want to believe everybody understand what I mean by string. Or like, should I call it sentence?
Yeah, string. Yeah, I think every programmer should understand what a string means.
Okay, so I'm not working on the new string. I'm still working on the value we receive from your script execution.
Output,
and I'll say, okay, test it. If it matches, it's going to return your status, which is either pass or fail, and it's going to return your HND ID and your
we are just using that function now.
Yes, we are just using it now. So when it does, we now say, okay, let's format our JSON. So I pass it the file, first an array, give it the file, give it the output. I now had to escape any special characters like an asterisk, stuff like that. I'm like, okay, let's not use it, remove it. And then I now trim it to remove any trailing or leading spaces. We don't have any spaces. Now for the name, we returned, who is the extension? Yeah. You remember the extension we excluded?
Yeah.
I said it contained the first part of your file name and the extension part. Yeah. So here is the part where I use the first part because I said, okay, name it first name hyphen last name.
Yeah.
So I now replace using the string replace now. We already explained it. And on line 136. So I now replace the hyphen with space so that it can become first name space last name. That's simple.
Nice. Yeah. There were issues of people that had hyphens inside their names. I don't know whether you had that issue.
Yes, we had. Our Regex was made to handle compound names like Elisha Ukbong, like John Paul. And it could match up to 4 names or 4 compound names. Like the guys with the Regex put a lot of work to get that working.
Nice.
Yeah, so I now replace the hyphen to have your name. And then the ID that was captured from test file content is now used. For your email, I trimmed trailing and leading spaces. The language was returned from Regex, like 131, and then the status 2. So this is how we ended up with our JSON. So as it iterates for everybody, it keeps adding them to this data variable, this data array variable. So what this means, this 2 square bracket just means append the value to the end of the data variables array.
Okay, the 2 what? I didn't get it.
Look at line 133.
Yeah, line 133, yeah.
Good. You see data open square bracket, close square
Yeah.
bracket. Now what I'm saying is, what this means is add the value to the end of the array.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So when it now runs this for each loop and finished, when once it's finished running this for each loop, we now echo it, we encode it in JSON. We now
Oh,
echo JSON encode. So this JSON encode is like give us the JSON
format.
pattern. Yeah,
Yeah,
JSON
yeah,
format. So that's basically all we did for JSON. Now, this part that I commented out was when Mark said something about pagination. He said we should paginate our results to return, because no save I was crashing them. So all this is just me running the pagination to be sure it works.
okay.
So first of all, I count the whole file. How many files do we have? And I said, okay, the total records I want to return per page is 50. And I now initialize page to be like page 1. Why I initialize was in case someone gives a page in the negative axis, like you give page 0 or you give page -3, it doesn't work. So just say, okay, it's turn to 1. So now I said, okay, what are the total number of pages? I had to divide the total amount of files we have, the total number of files we have by the total number we want to retrieve per page. So it's just, that's line 39. It's, let's say, if our total count was 100, to now be 100 divided by 50.
15,
Since
yeah.
we want to retrieve 50 records, yeah. So now
Yeah.
the total number of pages will be 2. Now, if I now check, okay, if someone passes the page, if someone passes value for page in the getter, in the URL, only then can we edit the value for page. So let's say you just pass, let's say index.php/JSON, it's going to not have the page value for page. So we now say, okay, since it doesn't have value for page, page will be 1.
Page one. Okay.
Is that
Oh, that
confusing?
was the reason why, what's it called? I think one of the mentors messaged the group that he's only seeing a page, right?
Yes, it's only saying 50. Yeah, because it didn't give any number of page. So it just assume, okay, give us page 1. So I now said, okay, if the page query is passed and if the page is not equal to an empty string and the page actually a value. So this
Oh,
would only pass, this part will only pass if the value for page is from 1 up. If you pass 0, it will not pass.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool.
So, and I said, okay, how do we know which record to start from and which one to end? Now I have to say page -1 times the total number of page records. So let's say if you give us page 1, it's going to be 1 minus 1, 0, yeah? 0 times 50 will be 0.
Yeah.
So that means we are starting from 0.
Zero, yeah.
And the end would just be where we are starting from plus the total number we want to retrieve for that particular page. So that will be like 0 plus 50, so 50. And I said, if the value we receive for page is greater than the total number of pages, return an error. So page does not exist.
Okay.
Yeah. So we now use that value start and end to iterate over the files we have to, and at the end, we have our JSON. Pretty straightforward. So since Jude J, I guess, said, okay, don't paginate, I just had to comment it out.
Comment it out. Nice.
Yeah, that is, I didn't want to lose the script. It was so nice and beautiful.
Nice, nice, nice.
Okay, so that was basically all we did to have the JSON running. So then let's talk about the HTML output.
Oh,
So
front-end guys, I'm sure they'll be happy to hear this.
yeah, the front end part wasn't really. I don't think it was tedious. One of our guys, I've forgotten his name, just had to make it styled. If he asked me first, I would have said leave it alone. But then he just took the initiative to do it and send the screenshot when everybody in the team saw it, and it was never like, okay, let's allow it. Because at first he was not supposed to edit the index of PHP file. He took a risk and it was worth it, so I give it to him. Now, Mark said something about flushing the script, and the way I did this script before, only thing I was uncertain about was the flushing. So I had to be like, okay, what is flush? I don't know what flush is. I haven't come across it before. I had to talk to one of my mentors, Bosun. He was an intern in HNG when I was an intern in HNG3. So he now told me, okay, I actually do not really understand what flush should be doing here. I don't know the context. I sent him the context. He still be like, okay, this should be the flush you'll be using, but I don't know why you should be using it. Like, okay. And I said, all right, I'm not convinced. This was after I've read a whole lot of stuff. I still wasn't convinced. And I had to go to Twitter and talk to Trojan. It was also another good PHP guy. I'm not really sure, but it should be returned just about what you're outputting. Like, okay. So I got into Stack Overflow. I mean, that always helps us after doing all the reading. I'm like, show me
Yes.
what you want to do. Yeah. And they were using the sleep function. So I now had to come and use sleep function, and it worked. But that wasn't the way it was supposed to work. So what it was doing was it executed the whole script, taking time, and then outputted it one after the others, waiting for 1 second. But that wasn't what we wanted to do. Mark said he wants you to stream real time as it's processing, is streaming. So I had to now think about our file structure and then did a major refactor. I had to rewrite almost everything to match what Mark's saying. So I extracted the part where we were passing it to a variable first, and I just had to output it at once. So still the
So you
same thing we
optimize
did.
it.
Yeah, I just had to optimize it. Just the same thing we did for the JSON part. But now the difference is this guy had to bring in Bootstrap. Me, I brought in jQuery because I wanted to update the number of guys passing and failing as it's passing, not just like, because if I'm output echoing everything at once, PHP cannot manipulate the front end. It's only JavaScript that can. And we didn't have a lot of time for me to start going on vanilla. I just dragged in jQuery. I know it's wrong. I dragged in a whole library for just 2 lines of things, but I had to do what I had to do to
Yeah,
pass
it's
as
necessary.
Yeah. So this guy styled the header
Yeah,
that we had.
yeah.
Let me see if it's going to display here. Yes. So this nav header team, it's Team Incredible now, it was Team Sentry then. The leader, the deputies submitted pass script. So you see as it's auto updating this pass, this is
Yeah.
what the jQuery had to come and do. Unfortunately for us, we had 434 scripts and everybody's passing, nobody's failing. So that's big ups for Team Incredible.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we now had this part. Then the major thing now is just having a table where we run. You should remember this for each loop. The same thing we
Yeah.
explained in the JSON. So now the difference now is, you see, I'm commenting out this data. This is what we use in the JSON part. We use this in the JSON part, so just have to comment it out. So instead, we now test what your status is here. I had to do some housekeeping. I initialize the variable email to no email. So we test if you have an email here.
Okay.
If it doesn't have an email, fine, we already have a backup here, email. So we check for your status here. What status did you have, pass or fail? And now replace the name, normal thing we did with JSON.
Yeah.
And now it's okay, if you have an email, that's what this is doing. If we retrieve an email from the regex function, then assign the value email to your new email.
Okay.
If it doesn't have an email, we output no email, just so you can understand, okay, I was missing an email. We now say, okay, if your status is pass, echo this. Just we echo out the thing at once, just as it's processing, it echoes. It doesn't wait till everything is done. That is why ours was fast. I think others was doing the same thing too. And the flushing, here you see I have online 149. You see this, if OB get level is equal to 0, OB starts.
Yeah.
This is where we start the flushing. So initialize it to start, and then output this. This is where the thing updates the script. +1, it keeps adding. And then else, it's going to echo.
Just to be sure, what does flush actually means? To push out data or what?
Yeah, the way PHP works is it uses buffering. So when it's executing all these scripts, the way you have echo, it's going to put it into the buffer and wait till it finishes executing the script before outputting it all at once. So what the flushing does is, I don't want you to wait till the end. Immediately you have any echo, send it out.
Send it out. Oh, nice.
Yeah, don't wait. Just, if I want to print something, just keep printing, keep printing, keep printing. Don't wait till the end. So immediately we are done, we flush it here. This is what streams it, this particular part here.
Yeah.
So you get, yeah?
Yeah.
That is basically everything.
Everything. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So it really was nice that we could get everybody to pass. There might be blunders there, but the best thing is we got it to work. We can always refactor and refactor and refactor.
Yeah.
And the best thing with HNG is time is of the essence. You need to understand time is very, very important. So
you have to follow the easiest and the most logical.
Yes, whatever works, push it out first. You get it working, you can now sit down And while the main team is hustling to get everybody's script to pass, you can optimize your index of PHP file to meet up the standards you want. But please don't waste time trying to make it up to standard. Make it work first, and then you can refactor anyhow you want.
Yeah.
So that is just everything we did to get our team running. And I'm sure looking through this video, everybody should be able to get a bit understanding of what we did in the index.html PHP file.
Yeah, that's
Thank you
very
for putting this together. I had fun explaining this, and I hope we get to build a lot of things together.
Thank you. You really helped out. Like I had fun understanding it. Like it made it more like understandable. If I even say I want to implement it another way, I can think of it like, oh, probably I can.
Yeah, you can understand the process we took to get it done.
Yeah. That's
All right.
very
Thank you
good.
very much. Yeah, that would be all, I guess.
Yeah, that's well.
All right. Thank you.
That's all. So I'm gonna end the recording now. So I'll send it to you.
Okay, sure. That would be good.
No, I'm okay. Wait. I think I'm making a mistake.